This is a topic that is not new to anyone. Everyone's kind of sort of seen this, but I really want to talk about this because of the nature of what it means and why it's been kind of circulating more in, I guess, today's era and why I think that's not exactly a good thing. So when somebody says, I'm not a good person, right? I'm not a good person. Like, what do they actually mean when they say that? For me, I feel like it's not actually what they're saying. There used to be an idea where when you say that, it came off as almost brave because there was a sense of accountability, right? Like, I'm not a good person, and I realize that I'm self-reflecting, which obviously, when you do, and that's in good nature, it's great. But now we are in a era of, or I'd say people are just pointing fingers, right? And that isn't something that really begs upon the question of where our line should be, like, adding up. Now, what do I mean by that? Basically, when people are saying, like, oh, you're not a good person, what's their basis? Why are they saying that? Where are they coming from? Do they actually want the best for you, or is it because it's a facade that they can hide behind while they're judging you? This is a big deal. Why? Because when there's someone saying like X, Y, and Z, you're not a good person, right? They might say you're narcissistic when you're just trying to get, let's say, like a lead role in the play. Or, oh, well, you're just pushing yourself too hard. You're kind of foolish for doing so. You're selfish when you're just trying to get fit in the gym or something, right? You are judging me when, or saying like, you're an addict when they themselves are like, let's say, an alcoholic. The problem is there's a lot of people nowadays that are actively judging you for things and saying that you're not a good person, actively trying to throw you down, when in reality they could care less. They're just trying to find a scapegoat and a reason why to throw you down. And now more than ever, it isn't an aspect of having pride in yourself where it's like, you know what, if someone says I do something wrong, hoopla to them, right? Which honestly, I will say, I think a lot of people do need to do that nowadays. I think people do need to just be like, okay, I'm not going to succumb to what Joe Schmo's saying about me, because cancel culture is a big thing nowadays. But what I will say is this. The easiest way for me to identify if someone's actually saying something in a good nature when it comes down to, you're not a good person, you're not good enough, blah, 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 blah. Do they want you to do the best, right? Do they actually want the best for you? So, like, for example, I've had a lot of friends that, used to be enemies. People that I genuinely, back in the day, I used to be like, this person's terrible. I hate them. I don't really believe in hating people anymore. But, back in the day, I used to have that, or I had those feelings for someone, even if I didn't, like, hate them, right? And, my best for them is I hope that they get justice for what they did to me, or to what they did to someone else. And that goes to an extreme. Nowadays, I don't think that way. Now it's like, what's the best reality? The best reality is that they reach their utmost potential, and hopefully they help each other. They become my friend. They help other people. That's why I was talking about at the end of my videos. Let's fight for a future so bright, so much for our eyes. It's because I want something that is so beautiful and vast that we can't even visualize it yet. It's beyond that of our mind. Like, I know it sounds a little silly, but when people talk about like a third dimension, fourth dimension, all that, stuff, or my bad, not third, we're into there, but you know what I mean? Like, a dimension beyond that, which is really like plausible that we can even reach to right now. That's what I'm kind of talking about when it comes to like potential and like, being good to each other. Why not hope for that grandiose future? Why not? Genuinely. And if you want the honest answer, I think it's just because it's hard. It's hard getting those good realities, and that's why people don't want it, because they have to put their neck in the game. And here's the second reason that you should be looking out for if someone actually, when they say something to you, if it's genuine or not. Are they willing to help you? That doesn't mean they have to be like giving you every little last resource, but that does mean that if something happens, are they just throwing you to the wayside and just helping, like, this person's not a good person, and they're just trying to forget about you and put you in the back of their mind, and hopefully, you just kind of like dwindle out? Because I would actually say something a little more controversial. Of course, it depends on the moment, right? But like, without playing semantics and whatnot, I feel like a form of hate includes just not caring at all for someone. That is, in a sense, a form of hate. When you have no attachment to someone, just hoping that they like fade away. That is something too, and a lot of people do that nowadays. I have a big issue that, when it comes to like love, people don't really even have the right term for that. They can go into a big thing, but a lot of things really do come to like these essential like pinpoints when it comes to conversations. And one thing you always hear me talk about is love. These things, when it comes to you not being enough. If someone's actually caring about you, do they just love you like, oh, it's my friend, and blah, 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 and then when things get tough, they're just going to walk away? Or you're not, when you're not able to hang out, it's just not suitable for them? Or are they actually going to be by your back and backing you up and, actually trying to build you up and see your almost potential? Hope that you do the best for your own life. I know a lot of people that don't love that way. And I think genuinely we need to fight for loving each other. We need to do a much better job of being like, I want the best for Sally Sue. I want the best for my enemies. I want the best for even, for you. People should want that. And we don't do that nowadays. And I think we need to do a much better job. In another time when I talked about this, there was two things I want to talk about. So, if you're in this realm, first off, to be simply, and again, this is what it's hard because like sometimes you have to over-explain things. Without doing that, the simple answer is Marcus Aurelius does a very good job of saying, stop asking what a good man is and just be one, right? That's what I'd say that you should do as well. Try your best to stop asking what it means to be good because you're never going to like mark up to the right thing. And even people that seem perfectly and whatnot, you don't know 100% who they are. And it's easy to judge each other for what, society says is good and bad. Especially if you don't have an objective morality system, right? So I would say just be the best you can be. Genuinely just do what you think is right. And by doing so, you'll be going down the path of building yourself up and fighting towards what is great. Because what I find is that genuinely there really, there are bad people, but that's also just because I have an objective morality system. A lot of people say that shit just because it doesn't fit into their narrative. It's not because they actually believe that you're a bad person. It's because they don't like you, they don't want to be around you, and they find you to be a pest. And that sounds terrible, but I generally think it's how a lot of people think. I've had these conversations before where it's like, you know what? Most people would probably feel, and it sounds terrible, I really do think a lot of people would feel bad if a dog died versus you. A lot of people think that way. A lot of people are sick like that. I can guarantee you, any of you guys, listen, I love my dog, I love my pets, but I would be heartbroken to hear if any of you guys were dead. Any of you. If any of you guys were hurt. And that even goes for people that hate me. I genuinely feel bad. Why? Because I don't conform to the idea of if you're useful, if you're good or bad, that's your worth. That's not what it is for me. Mine, again, is an objective morality system, which means we're all made in the image of God, and we're all to love each other, regardless of how flawed or whatnot we are, right? It's not about just showing up and being a good person. It's about how long are you willing to endure the fight? That's what really determines someone. Because at the end of the day, what's good and bad? It's something that we essentially have come up with, right? Of course, if you believe in going to heaven, one that changes things, right? But like for the most part, it's like it really is something that we have kind of identified with, and that's not going to be the end result. The end result really does come down to: are you still going to be pushing, throwing, the punches to try and reach your utmost potential of what it really means to be good, to be valid? Because you can do one thing in your life, one thing that's really terrible, and everyone will label you terrible if you do a lot of good things, regardless, right? And there's vice versa. There have been people that have done a lot of terrible things. You can do one good thing, and everyone will love you, right? It's not about your works. It's about where do you land in your heart, and how are you going to keep reshaping it and melding it, right? To me, it's like iron, right? And you just take your hammer and just keep batting at it. You keep batting at it. You keep batting at it over and over and over again until something great comes from it. That's what it comes down to. So, my friend, if any of you are watching this, here's my main point for that, okay? Because I know we're going around a lot of things. In a Skyrim game, right? There was, I forgot what the dragon's name is, but you guys know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. There goes a saying, and I'm going to try my best to paraphrase it. It goes along the lines of, is it better to be born good or to overcome evil through great effort? And essentially what that means is it better for, people just to be, there's good and evil, right? And that's just what you are. Or is it better for us to think that we are all morally gray, and those of us that overcome evil, that's where it really matters, because it was our choice. It wasn't just through destiny or lack of free will. And obviously, I believe in the latter. I think all of us are capable of doing evil. All of us are capable of being good, but it doesn't matter if it's good or evil or any of that. It matters if that was what you chose, if you pushed through that. And I think we need to do a much better job of, even when we see our, brothers and sisters and people that we love falling apart, we need to pick up the mantle and really hope for the best for them and push forward, because that's the best reality. That's what it comes down to. And whoever tells you you're a bad person for X, Y, and Z, even if you've done some evil things, that's not about that. It's about, are you willing to keep pushing forward? Are you going to listen to them? Oh yeah, I'm a bad person. I do X, Y, and Z. I'm so bad. Is that what we're going to end with? I say no. I say we spin in the face of that and we push forward. And that's what you should feel as well. So if you're going through this, if you're wondering, if there's people that put you down, if there is someone in your life, whether it be parents, friends, other people out there, or someone that doesn't even care about you, push fight, spit in the face of what people have said that you are, and recreate that. Rebuke thy destiny. Because that's what it takes to be really great, to be a person. Because no matter what, you'll be loved by God. You remain the image of God. And due to that grace, I think it's apt for someone to pay it back. So fight. Be the person you wish to be. And you know what? You can be perfect and you'll be like slandered on anyways. So knowing that, what will you do? And I know there's a lot of people that, have a hard time hearing that. Sometimes they'll be like, well, my life's still shit. And I can't always, guarantee things will go better. But here's what I will say. I love you. I care about you. And I want the best for you. If anybody here needs to chat, I always have my, emails open and whatnot. You can always DM me. I want the best for you. I pray for you. And no matter what you've done or who you've been through, you know what I mean? You are someone that was born in the image of God. Your name was written in the book of life before anyone even knew. Because of that, I want the best for you. I always care for you. And whatever it is you're going through, I will pray for you. And I'm sure there's many others. But in case there's one person that's not, if that's the case, then I'm dead, bro. Okay? If that's the case, if there's someone out there, I promise you that I'm dead, bro. Because I will always be in your corner, wishing for you. So if that's the case, and you got someone even better than me, which is God, push forward. Be the man or the woman that you want to be. And stop asking or saying, I'm not a good person. Respectfully, who are you to say what you are and aren't? In that case, look upwards, look inwards, and fight to become the person that you were meant to be. Love you. God bless. And let's fight for a future so bright. Peace with your eyes. My name is Luciano. I'll see you guys in the next one.